स्वाध्याय टीवी। डॉक्टर बाबा साहेब आंबेडकर ओपन यूनिवर्सिटी।
Namaskar. Myself, Dr. AWA SHUKLA from Dr. Baba Saheb Ambedkar Open University. Friends, today we are going to discuss about communication in mass media and its various aspects. In the previous two sessions, we have already discussed about the meaning of communication, models of communication, elements of communication, its noises, and how to be a good communicator. Communication skills is a set of skills that enables a person to convey some information so that it is received and understood. The most important in effective communication is to know the following. Is the four main questions which we can see in the slide. What, who, why, when, and all the four leads to fifth communication style, that is how. Let us discuss each one of them in detail. Who you are communicating with is important. It's of great importance to know your audience, who they are, of what age they are, what they already know, how will people receive your message, etc. According to the age group of audience or the people you want to communicate, you have to make or design your message. So, it is very much important, friends, to know who your target group is. If you want a habit forming message to be delivered to a group of children who are going to nursery, what will you do? You will plan for a poem, you will plan for some song with the help of which they understand what they have to do. If the same thing you want to communicate to a group of rural area, you want to make them understand the importance of health, hygiene, cleanliness, how will you do it? The same format will not continue. You cannot make them understand with some English poem or some song which you are going to make a child listen to. So, it is very much necessary for us to know who our audience is. If you want to communicate some sports kind of news or some serious sensitive issue, you cannot communicate the same message in a manner you will communicate to a child, to the group of youngsters or to some adult age group. So, keeping in mind the audiences, you need to convey or design the message. So, it is necessary for us to know who our audience is. The second question is what you are communicating. The communication should be adequate to the subject. It is necessary for us to know what you want to convey to the public. Is it some entertainment? Is it some news? Is it some event to be telecasted, broadcasted, or maybe read to the people? Is it any habit forming message? Is it any educational message? What you want to communicate and to what subject area you want to cover in your medium of communication. So, the second question of what the content is very much important. It leads to the third question, that is why. What is the goal of your communication? What exactly you want to achieve from this communication? You want the public to change? You want them to get some awareness regarding a specific issue? It can be some health and hygiene related issue. It can be information regarding some disease. It can be some information about facility you are availing to people. It can be an educative or educational promo, some entertainment promo. Keeping in mind what is the main objective you want to achieve from your communication, you have to design your communication, you have to decide the age group of communication. So, why you want to communicate is important. The next question is when you want to communicate. Time. The time is again very much important when you want to communicate in mass, or when you want a specific communication in mass. If you want to design a program which you want maximum public to read, or maximum public to see, or maximum public to hear, you need to first find out at what time, at what specific period of time the mass will be able to either read, either view, or either listen to your communication or your message. So, the time is important. A big example of it, the Nepal earthquake, which all of us know happened just few days back. If you communicate regarding this earthquake after a year, it will have no effect. It should be communicated directly when it happened. And with the advancement of the technology, of the sciences in media, it is very much important and it is very much convenient in fraction of a second to report what has happened. So, the timing of communication is important. We all see television, we all see cricket matches, we all see serials, we all see different kind of reality shows. What all these convey? Why do we see them? We see them because they are telecasted or they are heard to us, or we can read different kind of messages at the time we are free, at the time we are available to a particular media to read, view, or do both. So, the time is important while communicating in mass media. The next question is, how will you communicate? How you want to communicate about the issue? Think about the method you will choose. Think about the medium you will communicate if you want all the other 4 questions to be effective. How you will communicate, how you will decide upon a particular channel is important. If I want somebody or the audience or the maximum crowd to view a particular event, I cannot just put it on radio or put it in newspaper. Viewing needs some video part also. A dance cannot be heard, it has to be seen. An event, it cannot be heard, it has to be seen. It creates more effectiveness. A song can be heard, but a dance can be viewed. So, depending upon a format, depending upon the message, depending upon the issue, you will decide upon how a particular event is to be telecasted, broadcasted, or just printed. Now, let us discuss about how to communicate effectively. For effective communication, there are 4 different aspects which we can see in the next slide. See, it is connect, listen, communicate, and speak. What these 4 points say? All the 4 aspects lead to perfect communication. Let us discuss each one of them in detail. The first aspect is connect. Establish bond with people. How to establish a bond with people? You need to know what the audience want. You need to connect with them. If you are not able to connect with your audiences, they will not pay attention to what you want. So, connectivity is very much important, friends. Pay attention to people's facial expressions, their body language, their tone of voice. If it is a crowd where you are directly communicating, or it's a panel, or it's a group of people or group of audience where you are communicating, you should be able to read all these 3: facial expressions, their body language, their tone of voice. All the 3 will be able to you to understand whether the connectivity or whether the bond with your audiences has been established by you or not. See things from the other person's point of view. If I want my audience to understand what I am saying, I need to understand what they understand or what is their point of view. I cannot just impose what I want. I have to understand my audience and accordingly design my message. Accordingly make them understand what I want them to understand. Adjust your communication style to match theirs. You need to understand, you need to communicate them as per their communication need, as per their understanding level, as per their knowledge level. So, you need to match your style with their communication style. If they understand Gujarati, you cannot speak in English. If they understand some other language, you cannot speak in your language. You have to match their style of communication. If you feel a group cannot understand a simple talk, you have to design some dramatic format for them, maybe some singing format for them. So, according to their knowledge level, their understanding level, you have to communicate. Avoid criticizing or making negative judgments or saying that the other person is wrong. It is never that a person is wrong when there is some issue based discussion or there is some address to a mass or some educational discussion. You have to consider the other person's opinion also. You make your statement, you make them allow to make their statement and appreciate the statement rather than putting it or quoting it wrong. Correct them, try to improvise your thinking and try to understand their thinking rather than saying you are wrong. Show interest in the other person's interests and concerns. If you are addressing to a group or to a particular region or to a particular area of a city, of a village, you just cannot impose your thoughts that here there is a village and you want it to be clean, you want it to be hygiene. It's not just that they are going to listen to what you are saying. You need to understand what is your level of understanding to their issues also. First, let them speak about their issues. You understand their issues and then bring them to your understanding level also. The second aspect of effective communication is to listen. Encourage people to talk about your show. We have many shows, maybe audio talks, radio talks of various celebrities, various politicians we hear, various sports person we hear. Even we see in television, there are various different kind of interview based programs, interview based sessions, sports people talking, even the celebrities talking, the hero heroines talking. How do you understand whether what they are saying is appreciated by the people or not? You need to take ratings about your program, about your event, and how will you take that opinion? You have to encourage the public to talk. If they talk, you will get the best feedback of your communication, of your event, of your program. Show your willingness to listen, minimize distractions, attend to other person with your whole body, your body language, your eyes, your facial expressions. Nod your head and give verbal cues to communicate that you are paying attention to what they have said. If you want a factful and clear opinion about your communication, about your program or event, pay attention to what people are saying. Pay attention to their opinion. You just cannot get connected with the audiences without any connection, without distraction, without paying your complete body's attention, complete mind's attention, your heart's attention to what they are saying. Ask open-ended questions. Let them speak. If you ask yes, no types question, they won't be able to opine more. Ask them to talk frankly, encourage them to speak, and encourage them to speak more and be a patient listener. Listen to what people are trying to communicate, not just to what they are saying. Listen to their emotions, listen to what they exactly want. You need to listen not only the words of your audience, you have to understand the emotions of your audience. You have to understand the need of your audience and accordingly design the program, the serial, a show, a news program, an educative program or a film or maybe any event of radio or any article of the print media. Check to make sure you understand. Use your own words to reflect what is heard and noticed by you. You need to respond to what you have listened. You just cannot listen and sit. You have to understand, you have to listen and you have to respond to your audience. You have to make them understand that you have actually listened what the audience has said and accordingly convince them for implementation of correction. The next aspect shown in the slide is communicate. How to communicate? If you want to communicate your message, you have to speak with sincerity and conviction. Subject sincerity is very much important, friends, when we talk about how to communicate. If you are not subject sincere, if you are not strong about your opinion in a particular subject area, you cannot communicate to the audience. You should be perfect. A perfectionist is required to communicate. Be sensitive to other people's communication style. You just cannot impose your style on the other people or on the audience, especially when it is not face-to-face or direct communication. You have to understand how the other people can respond to a particular event or a particular format shown by you, and accordingly you design your own format. Know what you want to accomplish. Do you want people to understand your position, lend their support, approve your request? What do you want them to do, and accordingly communicate? If you want to communicate or if you want to make them understand that I am so and so of this company or I am so and so of a country or a nation, you behave accordingly. If you are requesting them to help for something or to create awareness or subject sensitivity development is required, then communicate accordingly. Listen at least as much as you talk. Your audience's response is to be listened and considered. Attune what you say with how you say it. Keep your message fitting to your tone of voice, your facial expressions and body language. If you want to convey something very much comic, can you be sad and communicate? No, you need to laugh. If you want to convey some sensitive issue, maybe regarding some death rates due to a disease, maybe regarding some practices to improvise the disease, you have to be that sensitivity should be shown on your face itself. Your body language should speak. It should create confidence among the audience that what you are saying is true. Your body language, your facial expressions will definitely communicate to the audience. It will make them understand, it will make them convinced whether to keep faith on you, whether to believe on what you are saying, whether to understand what you are saying. So, all the non-verbal gestures of your body, of your format, of the design of the program you have made for communication is important. So, just apart from words, even these languages speak and these languages communicate. The last aspect of how for effective communication is to speak. There should be project confidence. What is project confidence? To speak regarding what you want to speak, what you want to communicate, what you want to make people understand or create awareness among the mass. So, that confidence should be seen in the format, in your body language, in the targeted audience. They should have faith on you. So, your voice, your language will speak. Connect with your audience. You need to connect with the people. If people don't connect with the program or the event or the message which you want to convey, it's a complete failure. The communication is a complete failure. We have n number of channels today in television where we get different areas of information. There are some news channels, there are some religious channels, there are many entertainment channels, music channels, but the audiences have their own choices. They have their own taste of message gaining or taking some issue. There are people who just would like to see some sports channels only, and a specific sports channel, a specific news channel, a specific music channel or a specific serial, depending upon the theme of the serial. So, you should exactly know what your audience wants from you. Know what you want to communicate or what you want to accomplish. Do you want people to understand? Keep it short and simple. Most communication can accomplish just one objective. Develop 3 main points and people's attention only so long. If you want to communicate, it should be short. The preface or the designing of the topic should be more elaborated. Introductory, summary, and a specific message to be communicated. It should be 1, 2, 3 or a minimum mode of message or a minimum content to be explained in elaborative format. We all see different serials, friends. Serials are the best example of it. In a half an hour episode, you will always find that very much interest gaining point will be just 1 or 2 in complete half an hour episode. So, they just give a crux or just give 1 or 2 message in a half hour episode, and we are so happy to see that. The educative, the issue based events or the formats of design also should be similar. It should be very much subject specific, very much to the point, and required as per its requirement. It should be long or elaborated. Ask for the feedback. Was the message understood? Let us give you a hand in communicating effectively. Let us understand what they have understood. Feedback always helps in improvising your communication styles. It always helps in connecting with people. So, these were the 4 main aspects of communication. How communication can be effective amongst your audiences. These aspects, if considered, friends, the mass communication in different kind of media will be very much effective. Now, let us talk about different type of media when we are saying mass communication, how to communicate effectively, how to make people, how to reach to people. These different kinds of medias can be print media, can be audio media, can be visual media or audio visual media. We shall discuss about all these medias in the forthcoming sessions, but on the whole, all these media leads to some communication, some effective communication amongst the audiences, depending upon the target group, depending upon the outreach which we expect our communication to be. We decide upon each of these media. We all are aware of different medias, different communication styles, different people, but we don't give a thought to it, that why we love a person's speech, why we like to listen to somebody, why we like to listen to a particular singer's song, why we like to see a specific serial. why you love a hero or a heroine in a film, why you like a lecture of your favorite teachers, who is your favorite teacher, why you are connected, because the communication done by any of them is understood to you. It connects you more. The communication style of a particular communicator is effective. So friends, while communicating in a group, in a mass, it is very much necessary to keep in mind all the aspects which we discussed today while designing, while formatting. You read a column of some specific person. Why so? Because he writes well, because he is very much subject oriented, or maybe he is directly connected to your heart or to the public of a specific group, caste, religion or a creed. That is because you connect with them. His pen, the writer's pen connects with you. It connects to the taste of your audiences, and so we want to read a particular person's column. We want to understand or view a particular serial, maybe because its culture matches with your culture, maybe the hero or heroine of the serial is of your taste or of your choice. So, understanding your audiences and designing with your program is of much importance, friends, while it is in mass communication. Today, to summarize with, we have discussed about the 5 questions in communication which are necessary and the 4 aspects of communication that makes it effective in mass media. I end my topic and my session today with these 2 main topics. See you in the next session, friends. Namaskar.
स्वाध्यायः परमं तपः
स्वाध्याय टीवी